Let me tell you about a 76-year-old patient of mine. He walked into my clinic looking completely defeated, clutching a scan report that said he had bone-on-bone arthritis and a torn meniscus. His doctor's advice was blunt. You need surgery. It's your only option. He was terrified. Not just of the operation, but of the brutal recovery of losing his independence and the idea that he might never get back to the simple joy of walking his dog. But that's not how his story ended. In just 8 weeks, by focusing on a few powerful, non-surgical strategies, we got him to a place where his pain was practically gone. He was back to walking his dog, tackling stairs like they were nothing, and he'd completely forgotten where he put the surgeon's number. Today, I'm going to show you exactly what we did. More importantly, I'm going to pull back the curtain on when surgery actually becomes the right call and what you can do to push that day off for years or maybe even forever. If you're watching this, you're probably in a similar boat. Your knee groans when you get out of a chair, it clicks and complains when you go up the stairs, you're starting to say no to things you used to love, and in the back of your mind, there's that nagging fear. Is this it? Am I headed for a knee replacement? It's a scary thought, and it can feel like you're facing it all alone. My name is Gavin Noble, and as a physiotherapist, I've spent my career working with people over 50 who are asking the exact same question. The most common thing I hear is this idea that their knee is simply worn out like an old tire that has to be replaced. They see an X-ray showing bone on bone and assume the joint is a lost cause. But that's a huge misunderstanding of how our bodies are designed to work. I want you to burn a simple phrase into your brain. Motion is lotion, rest is rust. Think of the cartilage in your knee like a sponge. It doesn't get a direct blood supply, so it gets all its nutrients from the fluid inside the joint. When you move your knee, you compress that cartilage sponge, squeezing out the old waste fluid and soaking up fresh, nutrient-rich fluid. Movement is literally what feeds and heals your knee. When you stop moving because it hurts, that whole process grinds to a halt. The joint gets stiff, the fluid gets sludgy, and the pain gets worse. Rest becomes rust. Often what we call wear and tear isn't just about cartilage, it's driven by muscle imbalances that have been sneaking up on you for years. The muscles in your thighs, your hips, and your core are your knee's personal bodyguard. When they get weak or out of sync, way more force slams directly into the joint, which speeds up that wear and tear. The best part? You have incredible power to change your muscle strength, no matter what age you are. So let's tackle the big question. When is a knee replacement truly necessary? I'll tell you right now, the answer is not on your X-ray. I've seen scans that look like a train wreck in people who have minimal pain and are out golfing. And I've also seen near perfect X-rays in people who are in absolute agony. The picture is just one piece of a much bigger puzzle. The real tipping point for surgery is when you've tried the smart, conservative options and your quality of life is still in the gutter. Here are the real signs you and your doctor should be talking about. First, persistent life-altering pain. I'm not talking about an occasional ache. This is moderate to severe pain that's become your constant companion. It's there when you walk, it's there when you climb stairs, and this is the big one. It's there when you're just trying to rest. A key red flag is pain that constantly wakes you up at night. If your knee is robbing you of sleep, that's a big deal. Second, a serious loss of function. This is when your world starts to shrink. You can't make it through the supermarket. You turn down invitations because the walk from the car looks too painful. You can't get out of a chair without a push. When your independence is severely compromised by your knee, surgery becomes a much more reasonable conversation. Thirdly, you failed comprehensive, and I do mean comprehensive, conservative care. This is critical. Surgery should only be on the table after you've given non-surgical treatments a serious, dedicated shot, often for several months. This means a structured physiotherapy program focused on strength, using pain-relieving medications appropriately, modifying your activities, maybe trying injections like corticosteroids. If you've truly committed to these and they've stopped working, you've earned the right to consider the next step. And finally, a significant change in the knee's alignment. This is when your knee starts to look visibly different, developing a bow-legged or knock-kneed appearance. That level of deformity can make walking feel unstable and is often a sign of very advanced joint damage. So, to be crystal clear, the decision is not about your age or your x-ray. It's about your personal experience, your pain, your function, and your response to other treatments. Before you ever hit that tipping point, your best defense is building a strong muscular support system around that knee. The stronger the muscles are, the less work the joint has to do. This isn't about becoming a bodybuilder, it's about waking up the right muscles to give your knee some backup. Here are 3 of the most effective moves you can start with today. So, your quads, the big muscles here on the front of your thigh, are your knee's #1 shock absorber. When they're firing properly, they take a ton of pressure off the joint. This quad set is the safest way to get them working again, even if your knee is really sore. So this is the quad set. So again, you can do this when you are lying in bed. All you need to do is have a small towel, just roll it up and place it in underneath your knee. Remember, we're going to be working into these quads here. All we're going to do here is just gently tighten up those quads, push the back of the knee down onto the towel, hold for 10 seconds, and then let that release. Okay, so again, depending on how rolled up the towel is, your foot may lift up from the bed. If it doesn't, don't worry, as long as you're pushing down onto the towel and we're getting that nice contraction into these quad muscles here. So I'll do one more. So again, all we're doing is pushing the back of the knee down onto the towel, getting that nice squeeze into those quads muscles there. We're holding for 10 seconds. And then release. What I'm going to say to you now is if you do 10 of these in the morning and then 10 again later on in the day. Also going to tell you that when you do these exercises, please do not irritate your pain to a point that you are then unable to continue with the exercises. So again, remember, it's a small movement. The knee pushes down over the towel, hold for 10 seconds, and then relax. That is your quad set. This exercise is a powerhouse because it strengthens your quads, glutes, and hamstrings without a lot of painful bending. And get this, one study found this type of static hold is fantastic for reducing knee joint inflammation. So here's how we do the wall sit. So I'm going to stand with my back against the wall here. Going to take a step out. So take a step out with both feet. Okay, and we're up tall here. We're keeping our back against the wall here. All we want to do is let those knees bend 30 to 40 degrees, and we want to hold. So we're going to hold that. If you can, just start off with 30 seconds. As you get better with this exercise, you'll be looking to hold this for up to a minute. Okay? And I also want you to think about your pain. So we don't want this exercise to increase the pain. So remember, there's a difference in pain. So there's pain from your muscles working, which is an achy type pain, or maybe it's the pain that you get from your knees, which would be a sharper pain. So just bear that in mind, okay? You may get an achy pain, like the muscles are working, but not increasing your sharp pain, okay? When you've done your 20 to 30 seconds there, you can step back up, come back up, okay? A little short rest, and then come back down again, okay? So we're down, and then we let those knees bend 30 to 40 degrees. Remember, we're not trying to go as low as you can go here. It should be a comfortable bend in your knees. Again, hold 20 to 30 seconds, come back up. So as you get better at this exercise, you're aiming to do 3 sets of 10 of this exercise. So here's a secret weapon. Knee pain often starts with weak hips. Your glutes, your buttock muscles are supposed to stabilize your whole leg when they're weak. Your knee can wobble inward when you walk or climb stairs, putting a ton of strain on the inside of the joint. So this is our glute bridge. So the glute bridge, we're obviously lying down, our feet are flat and knees are bent. We want to push through the heels, squeeze our buttock cheeks together, and then we slowly lift that waist up towards the ceiling, like so. So we come to rest just on the shoulder blades. It's a breath in to hold up there, and then a breath out. We place that spine back down and on to the mat. Okay, we're going to just do that again one more time, and I'll talk through it again. So again, we press the heels, squeeze our buttock cheeks together, and our tailbone, which sits here, we want to tuck that underneath like so. So we're tucking the tailbone underneath like so, pressing those heels down, squeezing the buttocks together. We're lifting the waist up to the ceiling. Breath in to hold, breath out, and again we lower one more time. I'll just do one more here. So again, tailbone tucks underneath, press through the heels, lifting that waist up towards the ceiling, breath in to hold at the top, and then breath out, and we come back down. So remember, this exercise is really working into these glutes muscles here. We're also doing a little bit of work into our abdominals as well, but this hip area is so important to strengthen so that it helps to look after your knees. If this is all starting to make sense and you're feeling a little more hopeful, do me a quick favor and hit that like button. It really does help get this video in front of more people who are stuck, feeling scared and uncertain. And I'm genuinely curious, what's the one thing you miss doing the most because of knee pain? Is it playing with your grandkids, gardening, playing pickleball, just a simple walk? Let me know in the comments, please. Exercise is your foundation, but a smart plan to avoid surgery attacks the problem from all angles. Here are a few other powerful strategies to add to your toolkit. First up, and I know this can be a tough one, and it is weight management. But we have to talk about it because the physics are just undeniable. For every extra pound you carry, your knees feel an extra 3 to 4 pounds of pressure with every single step. Think about it. It means losing just 10 pounds can feel like taking a 30 to 40 pound backpack off your knees. That is a massive difference. Studies confirm that even a 5 to 10% drop in body weight can slash pain and dramatically improve function. Second, modify your activities. This doesn't mean becoming a couch potato. It means being smarter. It's about swapping high impact activities that pound the joint, like running on concrete, for low impact activities that nourish it. A stationary bike is fantastic. It gets you that motion is lotion effect with almost zero stress. Swimming and water aerobics are even better. The water supports your body, letting you move and build strength with no impact at all. Third, think about supportive gear. Sometimes the fix is as simple as a good pair of shoes. Supportive footwear can totally change your alignment and how force travels up your leg. For some people, a simple shoe insert or a custom orthotic can realign the foot to take stress off the knee. In more advanced cases, an offloader brace can be a game changer. It's designed to gently shift pressure away from the painful arthritic part of your knee, which can provide huge relief while you're active. Finally, don't forget about managing pain and inflammation, especially at the beginning, so you have a window to do your exercises. This can mean short-term use of over-the-counter anti-inflammatories like ibuprofen. Topical creams and gels can also work wonders with fewer side effects. Some people swear by supplements like glucosamine and chondroitin. While the scientific evidence is mixed, they are very low risk and might be worth a try for you. That feeling of dread, that fear that a knee replacement is your destiny, it doesn't have to be your story. You have so much more power over your knee health than you've been led to believe. So, let's recap the game plan. First, you now understand the real reasons for surgery. It's not an x-ray, it's constant, debilitating pain and a major loss of function after you've already tried other smart solutions. Second, you're going to build your own support system with foundational exercises like quad sets, wall sits and glute bridges. And third, you're going to play the long game by managing your weight, choosing joint-friendly activities and using support when you need it. My 76-year-old patient is living proof that a diagnosis is not a destiny. You are not a victim of wear and tear. By taking these active, deliberate steps, you can slam the brakes on your pain, reclaim your life, and potentially avoid that trip to the operating room for good. You have the power to take back control. If this was helpful, share your own story or ask a question in the comments. Creating a community of support helps everyone. And for more real, evidence-based advice on how to stay strong and active and pain-free after 50, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and here's to many more years on happy, healthy knees. I'll see you in the next video.